श्रुति, हे श्रुति, श्रुति।
कौन है यार? मेरा फोन।
अरे पागल, जरा आराम से यार।
ओजस, राइट?
थैंक गॉड, 2 साल हो गए। मुझे लगा तो पक्का भूल गई मुझे।
हाँ, अगर फोन को कुछ हो जाता ना तो जरूर भूल जाती कि कोई दोस्त है करके।
सुन मेरी बात, इसीलिए बोलता हूँ ये आईफोन वाईफोन का चक्कर छोड़ दो। एक काम कर, नोकिया डब्बा पीस ले ले, एकदम टिकाऊ और मजबूत, बिल्कुल हमारी दोस्ती की तरह।
तेरी बातें सुन के तो डॉक्टर कम और नोकिया का सेल्समैन ज्यादा लग रहा है तू।
एक सेकंड, तुझे कैसे पता मैं डॉक्टर बनने वाला हूँ?
तूने तो सारे कॉन्टैक्ट्स तोड़ दिए। फिर पता चला नीट के प्रिपरेशन के लिए कोटा गया है। 2 साल बाद सीधा यहाँ मिल रहा है अब।
फिलहाल नासिक में तो मैं हॉस्टल में सेटल्ड हूँ, वहाँ के MGV कॉलेज से BDS कर रहा हूँ। और श्रुति, तू बता तेरा क्या चल रहा है फिर?
सही है डॉक्टर साहब, अब दांतों का तो कोई टेंशन ही नहीं है। फिलहाल मेरी लॉ की स्टडीज चालू है।
सही है यार। बट तू एक बता, तेरे को कब से आवाज़ दे रहा था मैं? तेरा ध्यान कहाँ पे था?
अरे 1 मिनट, देख तू ही देख ले, तुझे भी हंसी आ जाएगी।
क्या बोल रहे बता?
उसकी शक्ल देख, तुझे हंसी नहीं आ रही है?
तुझे पता है इस बंदे को हुआ क्या है, जिसपे तो कब से हंसी जा रही है?
क्या हुआ इसे? बस टेढ़ी शक्लें तो बना रहा है। कितनी फनी फेसेस है ये।
वो वैसे शक्ल जानबूझ के नहीं बना रहा है श्रुति, उसे एक मेडिकल कंडीशन हुई है। तूने बेल्स पासी सुना है क्या कभी?
क्या? ये क्या होता है अब?
एक्चुअली बेल्स पासी एक मेडिकल कंडीशन है, इसमें पेशेंट के हाफ फेशियल मसल्स वीक हो जाते हैं और उसके नर्व्स का है ना।
एक सेकेंड, मुझे इस इन्फॉर्मेशन की क्या ज़रूरत है?
ज़रूरत है। तू एक काम कर, तू ये YouTube वीडियो मेरे साथ देख ले, मेरा भी रिवीजन हो जाएगा और बेल्स पाल्सी एक्चुअली होता क्या है ये तुझे समझ आएगा। ऐड आ गई।
लेडीज एंड लेडीज, सुनिए समाचार। इंडिया में शेड्स है 2000, बीच, लाइट, ब्राउन, बट सबकी है सेम ही फाइट। सबको चाहिए ग्लो ऑन द फेस, वो ब्राइटनेस, यू नो। तो इसीलिए आई रिकमेंड रोज वाटर और हनी से बना क्लीन एंड क्लियर नेचुरल ब्राइट। ये निखारे मेरी स्किन को नेचुरली एंड इट ऑल्सो क्लियर्स ऑयल्स एंड पिंपल्स। क्लीन एंड क्लियर नेचुरल ब्राइट।
एक सेकंड, पॉज। तुझे पता है क्या बेल्स पाल्सी क्या है?
Bell's palsy? What did you just say? I don't know Bell's palsy. I just know the jingle bells and the temple bells. घंटा।
अरे कोई बात नहीं, मुझे भी नहीं पता है ये बेल्स पाल्सी है क्या। So let's see.
Welcome to our YouTube channel Cadaver. Today we will learn about Bell's palsy. What is Bell's palsy? It is facial paralysis caused by dysfunction of cranial nerve 7, that is the facial nerve. It is also known as idiopathic facial palsy, named after Sir Charles Bell, who was Scottish surgeon, anatomist and neurologist. Bell's palsy results in reduced ability or inability of movement of muscles on the affected side of the face. There is no specific cause of Bell's palsy that has been established yet, but many medical researchers state that it is mostly affected by viral infections like herpes, HIV and sarcoidosis. Bell's palsy has its own mnemonic, which are B. Blink eye abnormal, E. Ear ache, L. Lacrimation, L. Loss of taste, S. Sudden onset, and palsy, that is dysfunction of facial muscles. We will see these mnemonics and the nerves related to it in detail one by one.
So we'll start with the letter B, that is blink reflex abnormality. It is a polysynaptic reflex arc, that is more than one interneuron is present. The afferent limb is mediated by the supraorbital branch of ophthalmic division of trigeminal nerve, and the efferent limb, that is the motor limb. It is mediated by the sensory fibers of the facial nerve. Now when some foreign particle comes in contact with the cornea, a stimulus is generated which results in the initiation of the blink reflex. The stimulus or the impulse is sent via the afferent limb, that is the ophthalmic division of trigeminal nerve, to the nuclei of trigeminal nerve present in the pons and medulla, from where they are sent to the nuclei of facial nerve, that is the ipsilateral nucleus and the contralateral nucleus, which in turn send the impulse to the auricularis oculi muscles of the eye, thus contracting them and thus leading to the closing of eyelid. This arc is divided into two stages, the early stage and the later stage. In the early stage, the fibers initiate the initial movement on the ipsilateral side of the face, that is on the same side of the stimulus. It is a disynaptic path between the sensory nucleus of trigeminal nerve and ipsilateral nucleus of the facial nerve. In the second stage, the fibers initiate blink reflex on both sides of the face. This is a polysynaptic path between the spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve and contralateral nucleus of facial nerve. This whole system works in coordination with a secondary circuit pathway for the opening of eye. It takes place with the help of a oculomotor nucleus and levator palpebrae muscles. The secondary input from the trigeminal spinal nucleus is projected towards the oculomotor nucleus, which in turn activates the levator palpebrae muscles, thus leading to the opening of eye. Now, there may be some dysfunction of this arc due to some peripheral damage or central damage. If there is peripheral damage, then it leads to ipsilateral.
Pause. Ipsi. What is ipsi?
अरे इप्सी नहीं रे बाबा, इट्स कॉल्ड इप्सिलैटरल. इप्सिलैटरल अगर समझा नहीं जाओ तो इट्स कंसर्न विद ओनली वन साइड ऑफ द बॉडी, ईदर द राइट साइड और द लेफ्ट साइड.
The secondary input from the trigeminal spinal nucleus is projected towards the oculomotor nucleus, which in turn activates the levator palpebrae muscles, thus leading to the opening of eye. Now, there may be some dysfunction of this arc due to some peripheral damage or central damage. If there is peripheral damage, then it leads to ipsilateral dysfunctioning, that is dysfunctioning of only one side. And if it is central damage, then it leads to dysfunction of both sides of the face. Bell's palsy is an example of ipsilateral dysfunction, that is only one side of the face is affected. In Bell's palsy, due to not being able to close the eyelid, there may be infection which also can lead to keratitis. This disorder takes place due to the infranuclear lesion of the facial nerve on the stylomastoid at the stylomastoid foramen. Now, this disorder of blink reflex abnormality is diagnosed using a electrophysiological technique. In this procedure, electrodes are used and artificial stimulus is sent via the supraorbital division of the trigeminal nerve, and then the responses from the auricularis oculi muscles are recorded. Then, if the impulse of first stage of the reflex arc is inactive for more than 13 milliseconds, it is considered as abnormal. And if the ipsilateral impulse of the second stage is inactive for more than 41 milliseconds, it is considered abnormal. And if the contralateral impulse is inactive for more than 44 milliseconds, then it is considered as abnormal. In case of Bell's palsy, the impulse is normal for the first few days. After a few days, you can see abnormalities in it. The first early stage impulse is delayed, which shows demyelination. Thus, a person is said to have Bell's palsy. This disorder can be recovered by several exercises, which you will study at the end of this video. And the blink reflex study can also be used to diagnose many other diseases like synkinesis of facial muscles, then acoustic neuroma, then lesions of fifth cranial nerve, and many more. Now we will see the next letter, that is letter E.
Moving forward to the next symptom that starts with the letter E, that is earache. The Bell's palsy patients suffer from the earache due to the dysfunctioning of the facial nerve. The facial nerve controls many functions such as movements of the eyes, smiling and frowning. It also innervates the stapedial muscle in the middle ear and also responsible for the taste sensations. Due to the dysfunctioning of the facial nerve, the patient suffer from the earache and neck pain. Sometimes they also experience the hyperacusis. Now we will see the buccal branch of the facial nerve. The buccal branch of the facial nerve runs horizontally to pass below the orbit above the mouth. It courses through the facial canal of the temporal bone and exits to the stylomastoid foramen, after which it divides into its terminal branches at the posterior edge of parotid gland. The buccal nerve has deep and superficial branches. These branches also supply to the small muscles of the nose. The buccal nerve innervates the following muscles: levator anguli oris, levator labii superioris, zygomaticus major, zygomaticus minor, and buccinator. The buccal branch of the facial nerve are very vulnerable to surgical injuries due to their position in the midface.
The first L in Bell's palsy stands for the symptom lacrimation. Lacrimation is a condition in which tears do not stop but flows continuously. The most common cause of watery eyes is due to the blockage of ducts or the ducts that are too narrow. Narrowing of ducts are the result of inflammation or swelling. Crocodile tears syndrome is a syndrome in which the shedding of tears takes place while eating and drinking. It is also referred as gustatory lacrimation.
पॉज अरे इसके घर वाले क्या कहते होंगे? पुष्पा, आई हेट टीयर्स.
While the second L in Bell's palsy stands for the symptom loss of taste. This is a condition in which the person lost all its sensation for taste. The sensation of taste is carried out by the anterior two-third part of the tongue, which contains taste buds. The branch of facial nerve chorda tympani originates from the taste buds and carries the signals to the brain. As in palsy, the facial branch gets injured and the chorda tympani also gets disturbed, which results in the loss of taste. Mandibular nerve or the marginal mandibular nerve is the branch of facial nerve in its extracranial course. The mandibular nerve supplies to the muscles of lower lips. As the lips are very important for the facial expressions like smile, sadness, etc. The mandibular nerve is superficial to the fascia, artery and facial veins. The facial artery is the important landmark for locating mandibular nerve during the surgical procedures. The marginal mandibular nerve runs forward below the angle of mandible under the platysma. At first, superficial to the upper part of the digastric triangle, then turning up and forward across the body of mandible to supply the muscles of lower lip. If any injury to the marginal mandibular nerve caused, then the person would not be able to make any facial expression.
Palsy of muscles of facial expression is a condition which causes temporary weakness or paralysis in the muscles of your face. It can occur when the nerves that controls your facial muscles gets inflamed, swollen or compressed. This condition causes one side of the face to droop or become stiff. You may have difficulty in smiling or closing your eye in the affected side of the face. The most commonly reported symptom is that the facial muscles twitch on the affected side of the face. There is also difficulty in eating and drinking due to temporary paralysis of the facial muscles. All the mentioned symptoms occur only on one side of the face, and hence Bell palsy is also termed as unilateral facial palsy. The cervical branch of the facial nerve runs forward beneath the platysma and forms a series of arches across the neck. The platysma muscle is a broad sheath arising from the fascia covering the upper parts of pectoralis major. The cervical branch of facial nerve supplies the platysma muscle. Now the main function of the platysma muscle is to produce a large number of facial expressions. With its attachment to the lower lip and modulus, it can produce an expression of sadness, horror and surprise by lowering the corners of your mouth and your lower lip. You might find it difficult to control your facial expressions and to eat, drink or speak clearly. The cervical branch of your facial nerve gets damaged.
Do you know what are the symptoms of Bell palsy? If yes, then write it below in the comment box. And no, then I am here to tell you what are the symptoms of Bell palsy. Mild weakness to the total paralysis on the affected side of the face, face dropping, drooling, difficulty in making facial expressions such as smiling, closing your eyes, loss of taste, headache, change in the amount of the saliva and tear, pain around the jaw or inside the jaw and behind the ears here. When to see a doctor? Seek immediate help whenever you experience or feel any kind of facial paralysis. Remember, it could be a stroke also, but remember, Bell palsy is not caused by a stroke. See to your doctor whenever you experiences any facial dropping or any kind of a weakness. Bell's palsy is also caused by some viral infections such as flu, respiratory illness, chickenpox, or genital herpes. You might face some complications such as irreversible damage of nerves, complete or partial blindness of eye, and abnormal growth of nerve fibers. Let's come to the topic which will give us a positive hope. That is treatment. People with the Bell palsy recovers fully with or without any treatment. Doctor will suggest you some medication and physical therapy which will speed up your recovery. Surgery is rarely an option. Commonly used medication to treat Bell palsy includes corticosteroid, antiviral drugs, electromyography, and image scanning. Antiviral drugs. The role of antiviral drugs remains unsettled. They alone show no benefits. When they are added to the steroid, they show benefits in some people. Corticosteroids such as prednisones, they are the powerful anti-inflammatory reagents. They reduces the swelling of the facial nerves. Corticosteroid works their best when they are started within the several days when the symptoms arrive. Electromyography. This will confirm the presence of any nerve damage. MRI or CT scan will ensure if there is any pressure on the facial nerve which can cause tumor. Physical therapy. Physical therapy will help you how to massage and exercise your facial muscle which will help you from preventing this. Let's move to the first exercise, that is raising your eyebrows like this. You can do with your finger this way. Second exercise is frowning, like this. You can do this way. Third exercise is smiling. Take help of your finger like this. Repeat each and every exercise at least 5 times. You can also go for a facial massage which is also very beneficial. Firstly, it increases the blood flow. Second, it will create a sensitivity on an affected side. Fourth exercise is opening and closing your jaw. Fifth exercise is moving your jaw from side to side like this way. Sixth exercise is blowing air in and out from the mouth like this way. Seventh exercise is spelling O and E, like O, E, O, E. Eighth exercise is pushing your tongue forward and backward, like use chewing chewing gum. Chewing chewing gums will help you to activate your salivary gland on an affected side. It will also help enables the movement of the facial muscles.
If you like the content of our channel, please like, share and subscribe.
Do not bully people. Bullying is against the humanity.
And this one for the patients of Bell's palsy. Don't feel inferior about yourself. Y'all are unique in your own ways and courageous too.
Never ever feel vulnerable and depressed. Remember that you are strong.
Don't feel lonely and anxious. Always feel to express yourself and always be happy.
Let them laugh, but you don't forget smiling because your smile is precious.
You guys are not different from us. Just stay strong.
Live your life the way you want.
What? It's okay to be different. The world needs unique and not perfect because perfect doesn't exist. We all are beautifully imperfect.
And last but not the least, beauty lies in the heart, not on the face.